I'm Camden, an estimator here at Cascade Fence and Deck, and I'm going to be answering your most frequently asked patio cover questions. Do I need a permit for a patio cover? Yes and no. There's a lot that goes into whether you need a permit for a patio cover or not. I've worked on projects down in Portland where it's a patio cover. If it's under 200 square feet, you don't have to worry about a permit. You go in Vancouver, if the patio cover is touching the house, attached to the house, you need a permit no matter the size. Each jurisdiction's a little bit different, but some other things to consider are lot coverage, setbacks from the property line, how high off the ground the cover is going to be. One thing to note though is we always do build our stuff to code whether the customer gets a permit or not. It's good to look into each jurisdiction where your property is, as it can change from one place to the other. What's the difference between a patio cover and a pergola? The biggest difference is going to be the rain. With a patio cover, right, you're gonna keep the rain out, but of course there's many different types of covers where you have shade included, right? You do a traditional wood frame where they might have shingles or a steel roof. It's 100% shade, it's gonna feel cool in there. Where a pergola is, you're gonna get some shade there, but the rain will still be able to come right through. How do I choose between acrylic and wood? There's pros and cons to both. There's great benefits to both. For example, if I was somebody looking for a wood patio cover, I would be looking to add a lot of accessories, string lights, some nice fans, some heaters, all that stuff. You would want the wood framing to maybe tie into your house nicely. Those are all things that I would think about when I was designing a wood patio cover. So if I was someone looking for an acrylic cover, I'm looking for a modern, simple design. The winter time when we don't have tons of sunlight, when we do, you're still gonna get that natural light coming through. You're still gonna be able to add a little light to the living room. And the summertime, of course, it will be cooler than standing out with no cover. Can I attach a patio cover to my existing deck? Absolutely. I would say a large portion of patio covers installed in the P&W are probably going onto an existing deck. They build the deck first, that's what maybe fits in their budget, and then down the road they're like, you know what, we're ready to put the cover in. There's a little bit that goes into making sure there's proper blocking to mount the post to. Maybe you have to cut the railing to tie it into the railing nicely. Definitely something to think about if you are getting a deck installed and you hope to do a cover down the road. That's a great time to add in that additional blocking. I'm kind of think in the future, so it does make it a little simpler for the guys down the road. What type of wood is best for a patio cover in the P&W? The best type of wood is a #1 grade Doug fir, free of heart. You don't want to use like a pressure treated or something like that because you're going to get a lot more twisting and warping and cracking in it than a #1 Doug fir. Will the beams crack or twist over time on a wood frame patio cover? Yes, they will. There's no way to get away from that. But we do use a free of heart wood, so it's a specific part on the log that we use when we're doing our wood frame patio covers with Doug fir material. So there's gonna be less checking, less cracking and twisting, but unfortunately, there's no way to get around that altogether unless you go with like an aluminum patio cover, but it definitely can vary between the quality of lumber that is being used. How long does a wood patio cover last in rainy climates? It totally depends on the upkeep. If you're staining it every 2 to 5 years like it's recommended, that's the benefit to an acrylic cover. If that's something you're interested in, all you have to do with that is blow it off every now and then. You don't have to worry about the wood rotting, anything like that. With the wood patio cover, you'll have to think about how the posts are set. Are they buried in dirt? Are they sitting on top of a nice concrete footing where the water is able to shed away from it? Is it flashed properly at the house so that water's not getting under the roofing, anything like that? Those are all big things to think about, along with the staining. How often are you staining it and has it been stained? How often do I need to stain or seal a patio cover? You should be staining it every 2 to 5 years. It kind of depends on the quality and the type of stain you're going to be using. Definitely refer to the manufacturer's guide, but I would say on average 2 to 5 years. The more the merrier. You get the good color there, and it'll keep that wood sealed up, preventing water from being able to penetrate into the wood. Will a patio cover make my house darker inside? Yes, it will, especially a wood frame patio cover. Those are 100% shade. If you have your kitchen window there, it's definitely going to be darker than what you were used to. With an acrylic cover, that's the benefit. It will be slightly darker, but you're still going to get that natural light through there. It's still going to feel like a nice warm space inside there. With the wood frame cover though, the benefit is you can add skylights, so you still get that nice wood frame look, but you have the natural light coming through. And another thing is we like to consider is even positioning the cover. Where is it positioned on the house? Maybe it makes sense to go here, but hey, if we can move it a little bit slightly over here, we can let this window open up a little bit. So those are things to think about also. Does an acrylic cover turn yellow over time? No, acrylic covers do not yellow over time. We like to work with American patio covers. They have this cool blue technology for their panels, so they don't yellow over time. They're a very high quality panel. Maybe you purchase just a thin, clear panel from a box store. There's a good chance that will definitely yellow over time, but if you get a panel that has the proper technology and stuff incorporated into it, you shouldn't have any problem with yellowing over time. How do you clean an acrylic cover? You can't walk on them, so you have to use a pressure washer, a leaf blower, because that's the biggest thing you'll run into is leaf sticks showing up on there. And when you look up, you'll see those things. But a pressure washer, a leaf blower, a simple brush down, they're super easy to clean, and that stuff will just run right down into the gutter and you can clean the gutter out there. As far as how often you should clean it, it kind of depends on how long you want to take cleaning it. The more frequent you clean it, the easier it will be every time you clean it. If you do like a once a year cleaning, it's probably going to take some more time up there scrubbing and cleaning it. If you do it once a month or every other month, it'll be a lot easier. And then of course it depends on if you're under some big trees and there's lots of leaves blowing down on there, you'll definitely want to clean it more than if you're out in a nice open area where you don't have to worry about the sticks and leaves falling on it. Can snow crack acrylic panels? No, snow cannot crack acrylic panels. They're designed for that 45 pounds per square foot, which is the standard snow load in our area. Consider sizing, panel widths, beam placement, all that stuff we take into consideration to make sure that we are going to meet the requirements at 45 pounds per square foot, so that the snow will not crack your panels. Is the acrylic portion replaceable later? Absolutely. That's one of the benefits to an acrylic cover. We get frequent storms here in the PNW and a large tree trunk, say, falls, cracks one of the panels. You can pull some parts off, pull the panel off, put a new panel on just like it never happened. Another benefit to that kind of system is adding on to the cover later. Say you cover a small part of your patio and you realize, you know what, I really love staying out of the rain, and you want to add on to it. Super easy to add on to it and make it look like it was always there. Another thing is, say you have a pergola, something like a existing space that you want to add these panels to. We can come out there where you can get it disinstalled, no problem. Are acrylic covers hotter in the summer? Depends on what you're comparing it to. There definitely are warmer than a wood frame cover, but they are cooler than a no cover. Another thing to think about is greenhouse effect. You hear that tossed around all the time. That depends on what type of acrylic cover you're doing. With us using the American patio covers and that cool blue heat stop technology, it's cooler in there. We've actually did tests here at the office where we take a heat gun, and it's definitely cooler than no cover. If you do a basic wavy panel, just a simple clear polycarbonate panel, say from a local box store or a local lumberyard, you will have that greenhouse effect. It'll be very warm under there versus standing outside. It all depends on the type of materials you're going to be using for that acrylic cover, to say one way or the other. What's the benefit of mixing wood framing with acrylic panels? You get the best of both worlds. You get the nice wood and warm feel of the wood framing, and then you get the natural light through the acrylic panels, that modern looking design with the black framework, but you still have that nice wood structure. And then that makes it super easy to add those features to the wood framing, lights, fans, all that stuff. You can still add that super easy to a hybrid cover that has the acrylic panels and then the wood framing also. What is a pergola? It provides shade, which is super awesome in the summer, but then it defines a space. You have a little seating area and you want to add some depth to it. That's what a pergola is great for. With pergolas, there's many different materials that can be used. You can do aluminum, wood, paint them white, whatever color you want to do. Vinyl options. With the aluminum, there's even options that they're louvered, electronic, so when it starts raining, they can turn into a cover. Lots of different ways you can build a pergola, which is also super cool with them. What's the point of a pergola in the PNW where it rains so much? Shade is the biggest thing. You're gonna get that shade, and then it helps define a space. So if your garden, you have this nice little area where you want people to gravitate to hang out, you're gonna put some chairs there. A pergola is a great way to add some depth to an area. A nice place to add some string lights, stuff like that. Can a pergola be converted to a patio cover later, sure thing. There's a few things to think about. Number one is, how was the pergola built? A lot of times they're built a little bit different than, say, you would build a patio cover. So there may be some additional support required. How are the footings built? And if you're gonna do something to keep the rain out, you would want some sort of slope there. But for sure, it's super easy to add this stuff later. There's just a few things to think about, like I mentioned, the overall construction of the pergola. Does an APC or wood cover help reduce deck rot? Absolutely. I actually had an experience just yesterday. I believe I was out at a project looking to get their deck redone, and it was so cool to see. Part of the deck was uncovered and part of it wasn't. And the part that was uncovered, the paint was all peeling, it was starting to rot. And then under the portion that was covered, it looked like brand new paint still. So definitely keeping that moisture off the deck is a huge thing. So even if you have an older deck, say, that's still in good shape and you want to add another 10 years to it, a cover is a great way to get that moisture off. Another thing to think about with the patio cover, nowadays people are using the composite material, the maintenance free. If your cover is only covering a portion of the deck, over a long period of time, you may see some discoloration between the portion under the cover and the stuff out exposed to the UV rays of the sun. Definitely something to consider there. Maybe we should just cover the whole deck instead. What's the typical timeline to build a patio cover? Kind of depends on what style of cover you're going for. I would say a standard wood frame cover, maybe 5 days. Acrylic cover or aluminum patio cover, those our guys can do in a day to 2 days. And that is a reason people like to choose the acrylic covers over a wood frame. With our process, we have our project manager will come out. They're gonna verify the sizing, how we're attaching to the house, put the material list together. The benefit to that is when our crews show up, say a Tuesday morning to start the work, they have all the materials ready and they're gonna be able to be there until the project's completed. Can you build a patio cover in the winter? Yes, you sure can build a patio cover in the winter. It's actually a great time to build them. A lot of companies will have their winter discounts, and we're gonna think about tying into the roof, all that stuff. We take that into consideration, plan around the weather accordingly. Try not to go out there on a day where it's maybe pouring really hard. Go out on a light sprinkle, but for sure we build patio covers in the winter. Can I get recessed lighting or heaters in the cover? Absolutely. It is such a common thing people miss. Wood covers are easier than acrylic patio covers with the wood framing. It is way easier to add screens, lighting, fans. The most common is going to be fans. Like the few of the guys have said here, you cannot go wrong with a fan. Especially you're using the space in the summer. It's shaded, so it will be cooler still. And then people go lighting. Later, you'll see people add string lights up because they didn't think about it when they installed the cover. Lighting creates, that warm space that you're looking for to use all year round. And then heaters is the other thing. Here in the PNW, we get rain a lot of the year. It's cold, so a simple heater or two really can transform the space also. What's the most modern looking patio cover option? In my opinion, it's an acrylic cover with that black aluminum framing with those clear panels. Ties nicely with most modern looking homes. We see a lot installed of all different options. A hybrid cover. They like the warm feel of the wood, but they also like that black aluminum look to it. Some people want to go with just a standard all wood, and those are great too. It all kind of depends on what your space is and how your home is, what it's going to be tying into. The biggest takeaway with patio covers is design one that meets your lifestyle needs. Whether you want it to be another outdoor living space, you're looking for something just to stay out of the rain, you want something to dry your dogs off before you bring them into from their outdoor walk. It's all part of the decision process, the accessories you want to add, anything like that to make the outdoor living space awesome. Here at Cascade, we install all types of patio covers, all shapes and sizes. So if you do have any questions, any concerns about them, please reach out and we'll happily chat with you, discuss them, answering your questions for you.